Perfect. Hopefully you are able to keep up with me. If not, just rewind that video 100 times if you have to. You need this, all right? That's why you're here. That's why you came so far. So this is not a time to give up. This is a time to keep going. So if you feel like giving up, you need to drink a little coffee and straighten up because this is you almost done with this, all right? And you come really far. So for those of you that are thinking about giving up, for those of you that are excited, let's keep going. For those of you that are down, let's keep going. You can do this, all right? So, all right. So now that we're pulling some information out of here and we can echo the user ID in the other page when we go here and we just say, if we type anything, of course, it's just going to give us a blank page. But if we put the Rico username like we did on the last one, submit, we can see that we are finding that user there. All right, and echoing the ID. Now let's pull some more information out of that. And if we go back to the users table, we can pull all this information for that specific user, right? So let's go ahead and check on these rows here, right? On each of them, on these columns. And let's go and pull some more information. So let's take the echo out of there first. Let's make it a little bit bigger so that way you can see it more. Let's just copy and paste this a little bit a couple times. We're gonna change some of these things, and let's just pull the first name out of there, and in a minute I'm gonna tell you why we're gonna need that. All right, we're gonna do some validations, and we're gonna be sending some sessions somewhere else, and we need this information. So now we're gonna change this, of course, to first name. And we're forgetting something here, but that would be the last name, all right? I mean the username. DB user role, I think, or role. Let's just call it role. Whatever. Let's just call it DB user role. That's too long there, but that's fine. DB user last name and user. That would be. I just want it to be descriptive so that way you don't get lost on this. DB user ID. All right, perfect. So we got all this information that we're pulling from there. We can echo and try it out, but I think we got it. I think it's working. All right. Let's pull out the username. DB username. All right, and this one has a column there named username, right? So out of that row of this specific user, what we're going to be doing. So once we have this information, let's just double check and see if we don't get any errors there. Let's just go back here, refresh that, submit this. We don't got no errors here. Perfect. All right. So now that we have all this information, let's just do some validation. So let's do an if statement here, and I'm just going to say if the username, and this is not this username, that's why I named it differently here. This is this username right here. So if this username is not, and you can do this if it is, if it's not, it's up to you, whatever logic you want to use. Right now I just want to start with if it's not the same as this, if it's not equal to that, and all right, remember that password, which is the password variable on top here. Remember that. Well, here, because it's like a cascading style sheet. If you know CSS, it goes down from top to bottom. Right? Remember that. It's not equal to what? To this. Actually, we haven't even got it out yet. So let's get it out. So let's make sure that we got that out, right? Let's get that password. So user password, right? All right, here. And let's just name right here. Let's just double check to see that if that's the name that we got in there. Let me just in the PHP MyAdmin user password. Yes, that's the one. Perfect. So if that's not the same as this DB user password, then I want you to redirect the user somewhere else, right? We want to send the user where? back to the index. So we're going to use that header function here. We're going to pass it in parameters here, location. Make sure that you always capitalize this L here, double quotes, and then we're going to send it to index.php. And remember, we need to go back. We need to get out of this because we are in includes. All right, we need to get out of includes and we need to go back so we can go to index. All right, so let's go ahead and enter there, and let's click on anything there and submit. And you see that you probably did not see it because it's fast, but before, when we did this, it would take us to the login page and would be blank. Right now, if we do anything, it just refreshes and takes us back to index.php. It goes to login.php, but it does it so fast that it takes us back here, but you don't see it. So if we type Rico, click submit, then it takes us to the login.php. All right, that header function, it is working. It's just doing it so fast you can't see it. All right, so now what we want to do, if else, let's do an else, and let's do else if. Let's do that one because I think I haven't used that in a while, and I think that's appropriate right here. Else is else if. All right, remember that. And let's just take all this out here, and we're just gonna change the logic on this one. We're just gonna say equals. All right, if this is the opposite right here, then we can just redirect to admin, right? So let's do that real quick. Location, admin. Let's go back because we got to get out of here. We need to go to the folder called admin, and let's check it out. Let's see if it works. Are you excited? You have to be, because you're doing something really good, and you're gonna be a web developer very soon, right? A professional one, sooner than you think. So let's go ahead and say Rico, and let's type in submit, and it's not taking us anywhere. All right, so our logic here is flawed. All right, so, or this is not working, one or the other. All right, location, and so else if, okay, and let's do an else statement right here. We need to remember that the password needs to be the same for us to go to admin, so that's why it didn't take us there. But let's do an else statement here, and let's do location, and if anything else happens besides these two things here, we need to take the user back to that to the index. All right, we could have just copied this one here, but sometimes I just write more. So let's make sure that we know the password for Rico, that way we can log in, right? So password for Rico is 123. So let's go ahead and try that. Actually, I think we're good to go here. I'm gonna recap a little bit, but I think you get it, but just in case you don't. So Rico, and then 123, enter. It takes us to admin. All right, so we're able to log in. If I type anything, Rico, and then type anything else, it takes us back to here, and that's our else statement. All right, anything here, else statement there, working again, right? Else if. So let's recap a little bit what we did, and I'm gonna do it really, but we're gonna be doing a little more here. We're gonna do dealing with sessions there. As a matter of fact, let's go ahead and finish the session there. When I finish the session there, I'm gonna recap at the end and show you exactly what we did. All right, just in case you are still confused. I'm doing a little faster since we already done similar things in the past. All right, so anyway, I'll see you in the next lecture, and hopefully if you do have any questions, I'm here 24/7 for you. So all right, take care, and I'll see you in the next lecture.